syntax for this will be if condition, then opening braces, closing braces, then else, opening braces, closing braces. Okay, so we don't write usually any condition with else statement. If this condition is not true or not satisfied, then else block will be executed. Right here also the same rule applies. If you are not passing any statement within this, then else block will be closed after just like semicolon. So this is closed. I can write one line here and then semicolon. This is also fine. If I need to write multiple lines, then I will have to put them inside block. Okay. Third would be execute a block of statement when compound condition is true. So I can have syntax like if condition 1 and condition 2 and condition 3 instead of and I can have or also. So the rules whatever we learned in last session about the operators, right, those will be applicable here. So if all the conditions are true, then if block will be executed. Making sense? Then another could be the little variation of this. If any of the condition is not true, then else will be executed. So that's a fourth variation of this. So this is fourth variation. Fifth one is deciding between or among several alternates. So this is called as Elsif. If condition is true, then execute this. Else if condition, execute this. Else if condition, execute this, and then else. So this is a else if followed by else, and then if followed by else, and then if followed by else. I can have more than this also, like else if. I can have n number of conditions here. Condition else. Now let's take an example. Disha, what you were asking, let's take the example of that first. Let's say I have int x equal to 3 here. If x equal to 2, x equal to 0. If x equal to 3, x plus plus, else x plus equal to 2. Now I am printing x. So what will be the output of x? What will be the value of x, guys? Don't run on Eclipse. Just have a look at the program and then give the answer. You are trying, right? Disha, Sitara?
Yes. So according to me, it should be 4.
Okay. Okay, so I'll come back to you, Sitara, and we'll ask you how it is for. As of now, I'm just writing it. Disha, yours?
For me, just a second, okay?
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, for me as well, it is 4.
Okay. Okay, who will explain first why it is 4? Sitara?
Yes.
Yeah.
So at first in line number 11, x is equal to 3.
Okay.
Now in line number 2, it says if x is equal to 2, which is not true. So obviously it will pass to the next line of code. If x is equal to 3,
Okay.
x plus plus. So now since x is equal to 3, it should be in the value will be incremented, which means 4. Now after answering it, my question is, in line number 12, I just went through it again. In line number 12, our if statement ends, right? So again, the x value changes. So now the value should be 0, right?
Okay.
Yeah. If the value changes from 3 to 0, then the 14th code would not execute because it is not equal to 3. It will pass on to 16.
Okay.
X plus equal to 2 means x plus 2, which means 0 plus 2, 2. So now I think the value should be 2.
Okay. Disha?
Yeah, Sitara is right.
Right now? Yeah, that's how they are confused. I mean, they are making you confused here, right? So this is at first instance what you will think this condition is not true. Then your compiler will not come on this line, right? And you will directly jump on here, and you will see since x equal to 3, this condition is satisfied, and immediately in answers you will get 4 also. So immediately you will put 4, right? But that is not correct. This if condition is closed here, right? And now we are reassigning the value to 0, and this and after we are assigning value 0 to x, this condition is not true, and then finally this block will be executed.
Just one question over here.
Yeah.
The condition we are putting inside line number 12, if x equals to 2. Equals to is a comparison operator, right?
No, it's not comparison.
It is,
yeah, it is comparison only, na?
yeah, and yeah. So if x equal to 2, so initially int x equals to 3. So x is having value 3, right?
3
now
is
we are
equal
comparing...
to true, no? It's not, right? 3 is not equal to true.
No, it is not equal to 2.
So what is the confusion here?
No, so what Sitara explained is x equals to 2, but that doesn't mean x is 2, right?
Okay, instead of this, if I put 3 here, right, 3 is equal to 2? No, right?
No.
So this is closed. This if will not be executed. Now,
Right.
and then here the if block is closed, since there is a semicolon here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then x value will be changed to 0.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this is assignment operator. We are changing the value of x to 0 from 3.
To 0. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and again it is checking if 0 equal to 3. No, right? This is also false. So this condition will also not be executed. Then finally this will be executed because this is having the else block, and 0 plus equal to 2, it will be 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I
Now it is.
if I do
Yeah.
slight changes here, instead of this, if I put if I remove semicolon here, now what will be the value?
Then it will execute line number 15.
In this case, what will be the value, guys?
It will be 4.
Right. So because of one semicolon only, the entire flow of the program is changed.
Yes.
So that understood, right? Now it will be 4.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just run both the condition here. So now it is 2. Okay, if I remove the semicolon from here, it will be 4. Got it? So likewise, you will see some questions around when you give some hacker rank test or something, right? So nowadays companies are preferring hacker rank test before they are processing. I mean, before they are proceeding for the interview process. So in hacker rank, you will see so many such questions, which will be like if you are not attentive, then you might give wrong answers. Okay, so this was one of the example. Yeah. Now coming to the example wherein I'll have several if condition. I'll just give the problem here. Maybe you can take that up for assignment, or maybe you can try. I'll give 5-10 minutes and then you try. Yeah, so what is my problem here? If the number is between 1 to 100, then it should display it is a small number. If the number is between 101 to 1000, then it should display it is a medium number. If the number is between 1001 to 10,000, then it should display big number. If the number is above 10,000, greater than 10,000, then it should display it is a high number. Okay, or if the number is below 0, less than 0, then it should display number is either 0 or negative. Okay, input would be will change the input, and then it will try with several inputs. So you want to take this up now, or you will take that up as assignment?
We can take this up as an assignment.
Okay.
So that we can focus completely on theory right now.
Okay. Fine. So I'll just give this an assignment. So I will have to use multiple conditions here, guys. Yeah. So there is one condition, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now,
Just one question. I know if I ask this question, that will be like an answer. I'll be asking for answer, but just one confusion. As it is saying, the number is between 1 to 100. Okay, so there should be a boundary line as well, right? What is the upper boundary and lower boundary in
you
that
start
condition?
from one. You start from one.
Yeah, and 100 should be included, right?
Included. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because next
1 and
condition
100
is
should be
starting
included.
from 101.
101, yeah.
So both inclusive, 1 and 100 both inclusive.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So either you can write it here like greater than 0 or equal to 1.
Yeah. We will do that. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you that 1 and 100 are also included, right? Because
Yeah.
between is given. Yeah.
Okay. So we covered until deciding among several alternates, if else. Now the sixth type is, just give me a minute, guys. Yeah. I'll just come back.
Sure.
All right. So sixth type of input is if else is, where I can have more than one condition. So execute a block of statement when more than one condition is true. Syntax would be for this will be like, if condition 1, if condition 2, if condition 3, followed by some statements, then finally 3 closing curly braces. Okay, so this could be another variation. So let me take the example for this. So let's say I have something like int a equal to 100, b equal to 90, c equal to 80, and d equal to 70. Okay, now I need to check which number is bigger among 4, right? So using this syntax, right, what we just looked into, we can write like if a is greater than b, if a is greater than c, if a is greater than d, then this out. A is bigger number. So we can write all the conditions in one statement also, or we can separate them out also. So either way is fine. Yeah, so if I run this program, I'll get A is a bigger number, because all this condition is true, then it will go inside this. Then it will check this condition is true, it will go inside this. Then it will check if this condition is true, it will go inside this. Instead of this, if I make this, then what will be the output? What will be the output, guys?
It won't I mean, it will come out of the if condition.
If
First
condition.
only.
At the first
Yeah.
itself, it will fail. No?
It will
It will fail.
fail
Okay.
as in it won't execute. Yeah.
Okay, so I won't get anything on the console.
Correct.
So instead of this, if I give let's say 85 here, then where it will fail?
12th itself, because A is still not greater
Yeah,
than B.
right. It won't go inside the first. If first line is not executing, then it won't go to the second line. It will come out of the condition.
Okay. All right. So what I wanted to cover here is A is greater than C but less than B. So I can write like eighty, 85, and 90. Now
It will execute till 13, and after 13, once it goes inside a line number 14, it won't exit.
now you try. Now sorry, there was a typo.
Yeah.
So
A
this
is greater than B in 12. It will work. A is greater than C. No. So in it will work till 12, but the output again would be
nothing.
there won't be any output.
Oh. So likewise, I mean, the compiler will check the condition and accordingly the action will be taken by the following statements. Okay, so it's quite clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. So next could be a little variation of this, wherein I can have multiple ifs followed by multiple else. So I can have like this: if condition 1, if condition 2, if condition 3, then statements, then else, then else, then else. So for every if I will have else here. Okay. So let's take an example of this. We'll do some changes in this only. So let's say I have A equal to 100, B equal to 90, C equal to 80, and D equal to, let's say, 70. So at the top, we will have if condition followed by another if followed by another if. Finally, let's take 70. So A is bigger number. Now after this if, I'll write one else here. All right, so if else, okay. Now we have if until here, else. Now we have if until here, then else. Understanding, guys, this line of code?
Yes.
So you are understanding the logic of these curly braces also, right? So let's start from the inner if. We have if condition here followed by else. One block is closed here. Then the condition above the innermost is we are starting one if here, which is closing here, and then one else here. Making sense? And the final if is starting until here, then else here. So this is the final if. This is the topmost if. And followed by two curly braces, one for class and one for main method. So that's why I am having two curly braces here. Any confusion in this curly braces? How I am having two curly braces here?
No. Understood.
Understood.
Understood. Yeah.
So if I execute this, let me take the all numbers one by one. So as of now, A is bigger, so it is printing A. If I make B is bigger, then it will print B is bigger. If I make C is bigger, T will print C is bigger. Okay. From here also I can see C is bigger. Now if D is bigger, 700. Now it will print D is bigger. So my conditions are working fine, though this is a complex if else block, but it is written well properly, so it is working fine. Okay. All right, so this can be achieved using nested if compound conditions also. So let's have a look at that. So 1 second, my inputs will be same. I'll just do the changes in condition. So if A is greater than B and A is greater than C and A is greater than D, then output would be sys out is bigger, else sys out is not bigger. So instead of putting all the conditions in separate if, I can just compound them in a single statement. And here I am using the AND operator, right? If all the conditions are true, then only it will be true. So A is bigger. If any of the number is not bigger, if any of the number is bigger than A, then this condition will false and it will just say A is not bigger. So this could also be the another variation. Okay, guys, so this meeting is going to end in another 15 seconds. So please rejoin after the meeting is closed.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question was, what is the difference between nested if and if I use compound conditions? So nested if versus, or maybe I let like nested condition versus compound condition. What's the difference did you observe, guys?
In compound, we can use multiple conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Along with operators as well, maybe.
Disha, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, in nested condition, there will be many conditions. Okay, we no need to write if else, if else, if else. Instead of that, we can take first if and then condition, then else if, then else if, and then else if. And
Mm-hmm.
in compound condition, we can have, yeah, using operators, we can have, no, compound condition, I'm not sure, sorry. Nested condition is what I said.
Okay, so in nested condition, what we do, we write multiple else,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we saw here, right? There are 3 ifs, I can write 3 else. But in compound, I can write only 1 else.
Okay.
In this example, right? I can write only 1 else. There are 3 conditions here, but I can write only 1 else. So what I need to do, if I need to check for all 4 condition, if A is bigger, B is bigger, C is bigger, D is bigger, using compound condition and else if condition, I'll have to do certain changes here. So in nested condition, so that also I'll give you as assignment only. We can write multiple else. Whereas in compound condition, single else part only. So this is your next assignment. We need to find biggest number between 4 numbers. Between 4 numbers using Elsif and compound. So this will be a second assignment number 2. Earlier one was assignment number 1. Okay, so you need to use here I need to use your Elsif and compound condition. All right.
Yeah, Nitin.
So with this, I think if is over. Okay, we have seen a single condition, multi conditions, then compound conditions, negative also, nested if, everything we have seen. So this is your requirement. You can use the if else. So it will be thoroughly used during your Selenium programming. They will be asking a lot of questions during your interviews also. So it will be thoroughly used. So all the syntax should be on your tips, especially the basic syntax and the syntax with if else, else if, right? Even though you are not using compound, that is fine. But basic syntax you and the syntax with else if should be on your tips, right? Another way to achieve conditions in Java is like switch switch statement. Okay. So wherein I do have several alternates, and in among all alternates, I need to decide one. Okay. So what is switch? Any idea on switch statement? Though if else is more recommended one, but in some of the written tests they do ask you to use switch only, right? So you should know this syntax.
So it uses multiple cases. So if there is case 1, that code will be executed. If not, it will move to the next code, like next case.
Right.
Yeah, same here. There will be, uh, I mean, there will be a condition. So if case one is executing, then we will break it there itself. If it
Okay.
is not true, then we will go to the next case. If it is true, then we will break it there, and whatever would be the output, we will get into the console.
Okay. So basically, switch is used to decide among several alternates. Okay. So syntax for this is like we have switch followed by expression, then case 1 value, then colon, right? Instead of semicolon we put here colon, then break, then case 2 value, colon, and then break. I can have statements after case 2, then case 3 value, colon, finally break. And at the end we need to give one default statement. So if nothing works, then the default will be executed. Statement, finally out of the switch case. What is expression here? What do you mean by expression?
The variable, whatever we set, we pass that into that expression.
Right. So expression in a programming language is a combination of one or more constant, variables, operators, and functions. So this could be your expression that a programming language can interpret. program can interpret, or rather program can interpret. So we'll just see the example for switch case. So let's say I need to, I do have one char type variable which is having grade as in B, right? And then I need to check and print what will be the meaning of grade B, as in as example A is excellent, B is good, C is average, D is poor. Likewise, there are 4 grades, and I need to check the current grade which is given to a student falls under which category. So I need to use switch case here. So what I will do, I'll just start my switch here, switch followed by expression, right? So my expression of variable or operator here is grade, followed by curly braces, then case A colon sys dot out, then a statement, right? Grade is excellent. If this is true, then I'll just break it here, semicolon. Case B colon sys out, then I'll have good. If this is true, then I'll break here. Case C colon sys out, then I do have average. If this is true, then it will break here. Now case T colon sys out. If this is true, I'll just mark it as poor here. Then break. Finally, default statement. So I don't write any condition in default, just sys out, and then invalid grade. All right, so here my program is over. So understood, right? So if I am giving any grade among A and D, then according to the grade, your result will be displayed here. Let me run this program. So since we passed B, so good is printed here. If I pass here D, then poor is printed here. If I pass a small d here, then it will print invalid grade since it is a case sensitive. Or any grade apart from capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D is passed here, invalid grade will be printed here. So default statement is must while in this. And break is also must. If break is not given, then even this output will be printed. So if I, let's say if I put break, if I remove break here and I type let's say A, capital A, then what will be my output?
Excellent.
Only excellent, right?
Yeah.
And if I type D here, then what will be my output?
Poor.
Only poor?
Poor and invalid grade because you have commented the break.
Right. So poor and invalid grade. Since we are not terminating our switch case here, so default will be executed eventually. Okay.
Yeah, understood.
Okay, fine. So with this, we are done for break as in switch case. Sitara, any confusion in this?
No, nothing.
Yeah. So what happens, guys? So when you start using these conditions, right? If, else, and switch. So if you do not practice, then you will forget the syntax for switch case. So this is what happens with the guys usually, where to put semicolon, where to put break, where to put default and all. So you should be aware of syntax. Rest you can do by your own self. It's not that difficult, right? So just condition here, and then basis the condition, you will do the sys out, and then finally break. All right, so I am done with switch case also. Now I'll come to the loops. So loops in Java. All right, so I think I covered that in one of the demo also, right, Disha? It was you only, right, when we discussed about loops.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
The
so
pattern we have discussed at that time.
yeah, right. So I'll have another multiple patterns now. So what is the use of loop, Disha? What we discussed that day?
So we use loops to, uh, like to not to write the redundant code in the program, and to verify the values at one go.
Okay, explain with the example now, if you are aware of any
Okay.
example.
Yeah, sure. So if I want to print any, suppose last time we have taken even numbers. Okay, 1 to 10, between 1 to 10. So every time I need, there is no need to take value of I and divide it by 2 and see if it is equal to 0. No need to write a condition one by one. If condition one by one, I can do that, right? But if I use the for loop in 3 lines of code, I'll get my output. Wherever iterations are required, at that time we use for loop.
Okay. Sitara, are you understanding anything?
Yes, sort
Okay.
of.
Sort of. Okay. All right. So
I'm not good in explaining, so
no problem, Disha.
I know.
No problem. So everyone is like that only initially, Disha. So when I started learning Java, even I was worse than you, right? So what Disha is trying to say, let's say I want to print number from 1 to 10. Print number from 1 to 10. So what will be your approach, Satara? How will you print that? Sys out 1, right?
Right.
Sys out 2. Oh, sys, not sys, air print. Write it 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So this is the one way. I need to print a number from 1 to 10, and then I am printing like this. Suppose there is a requirement tomorrow to print number from 1 to 100. Now what I will have to do, I will have to write this line of code again and again up to 100 times. That is also fine. You can write that. Let's say there is a requirement tomorrow to I want to print number from until this time. Then it will be a kind of repetitive task you are doing again and again, and it is unnecessarily increasing your length of your code, right? So this, to avoid this all, Java has provided loops, right? Loop as in the statements within loops will be executed again and again until the condition is satisfied, right? So the basic definition of loop is it repeats the block of statement for a specified number of times. If you know the record count used for loop, and then it is easy to use and understandable. So let me write this, then you will understand quite clearly, right? So uses of loops in Java is it repeats a block of statement for a specified number of times. If you know the record count used for loop. Used for loop. It is easy to use and understand. Right? So syntax for loop basically is for, it will start from a small letter, right? Start value followed by semicolon, then end value followed by semicolon, then increment or decrement. All right, and then within braces we will put our statements, right? So as an example, let's say I want to print number from 1 to 10. Now since I will have to repeat same thing again and again, I'll use loop here, right? So I'll start my loop from int I equal to 1, right? I less than equal to 10 and I plus plus. Sys out the value of I. Okay, so this is the initialization or the starting value, right? So I need to start from where? I need to start from 1, right? So here I am writing 1. This is the end value. I need to print until where? 10, right? So I can write like less than 11 also, or I can write like less than or equal to 10 also, and then followed by I plus plus, and then I do have the statement. So if I run this program, it will print my values from 1 to 10. Now my job is done, right? I don't have to write sys out 10 times. If there is a requirement to print until 100 tomorrow, I'll have to do a little modification here, and then I'm done. So it will print from 1 to 100 in fraction of seconds. Let's say there is a requirement tomorrow to print up to 10,000. So it will print like 10,000 in just fraction of second. So this is the beauty of loops here, right? So you don't have to write same line again and again, right? Now what happens initially, your loop is starting from I equal to 1. Let me take the example until 10 only. First, this condition, your loop is initialized here, I equal to 1, and then this condition will be checked. So if I is less than equal to 1, yes, condition is true. Current value of I is 1, 1 is less than equal to 10, condition is true. Then your compiler will come onto this line and then it will print 1. And finally, the value of I will be incremented. Okay. So now the value of I will be 2. now again compiler will come on this line. So this is how the loop works. 2 is less than equal to 10, condition is true, then it will come on this sys out, and then your 2 will be printed, and then this line of I plus plus will be executed. So flow is like, let me write the flow also. First is initialization, then your condition, then your statement, then your increment decrement, and from here condition, statement, and then this cycle goes on until your condition is true. Statement, then increment decrement, then condition. If true, I mean it should be true only. If condition is false, then your loop will be terminated and it will come out of the loop. Come out of the loop. So understanding the flow, Sitara?
Yes, Nitin.
Yeah, initialization, condition, statement, followed by increment decrement, then condition, then statement, increment decrement, then condition. If condition is false, then it will come out of the. Okay, so this is how the loop works, right? So it is quite frequently used, guys. Even in Selenium, everywhere, wherever you go, it will be used quite frequently, right? So you should be quite familiar with for loop. Now, what I need to do, I need to, instead of printing 1 to 10, I'll do a little change here. So I don't want 4, maybe instead of 1 to 10, I don't want 5 number. Don't want as in 4 number. So what changes I will have to do here, guys? In this loop, what changes I will have to do here? So this loop will print value from 1 to 5. And then what changes I will have to do to make this work?
You don't want value 4, right?
I don't want 4. Sitara?
I'm not sure.
Just think about that. It's quite easy. No clue. What if I write like if I is not equal to 4? Will this work? One second, guys. I'm getting a call.
Sorry, I could not hear you. Did you speak anything? Because there was a lot of background noise actually.
Am I
No,
audible
he
now?
just said, yeah, he was on call. That's it. Yeah, you are audible, Nathan.
Okay, okay. So if I put this condition here, will this work? It will work, right? So initially
Yes,
value of I equal to
yes.
1. Now once you check this condition, I less than equal to 5, this is true, it will check this condition, I is not equal to 4. Condition is true, right? 1 is not equal to 4, then I will be printed.
So as soon as it will return to 4, when I is equal to 4, I is less than equal to 4, it comes to 24th
Line.
line, and it will check. Then it is equal to 4. So that is why it
Yes,
won't print.
it won't
And
print,
will
and then your loop
and will
will
again go
continue.
back to 5.
Loop will continue.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not getting 4 here. Okay. All right. So with this for loop is done, we'll see more on for loop, because for loop is quite useful. Next is while loop. Again, uh, uh, the purpose of loop is same. Whenever you want to perform same statement again and again, you will use loop. So basically, it repeats a block of statement while the condition is true. So syntax for this is initialization, then your while, followed by condition, then your statement or statements, then your increment decrement, closing braces. Okay. Now what I'll do the same operation, print 1 to 10 using while loop. Let me remove this all. Tara, tell me how I'll do that. What should be my first line?
Aniket, can you go back to the question once?
So I need to print value from 1 to 10 using while loop.
Okay.
Instead of for loop, I want to use while loop this time.
Can you go back to the syntax?
Okay. Just have a look at that. Yeah.
Then increment and decrement. Okay. So while
Okay.
now we have to mention the condition. So condition is 1 to 10. Int I is equal to 1.
Where I need to write that? Within while, after while, before while.
While and then condition, like after while.
So I.
Int I is equal to 1.
Okay. Then
I less than equal to 1. Statements.
Okay. Less than equal to 1.
No, less than equal to 10.
Okay.
But this should come under bracket, like from int.
Okay.
Then curly braces.
Bracket closed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then statements.
Okay. Statement. I'll write like this out. Then print I. Then.
And then post that will increment or decrement, which means in this it will be I plus plus.
I plus. Okay. All right,
Any
Disha,
choose error?
is it okay? Is it correct?
The condition said while is not correct. I mean, in initialization, we can do above while int I equals to 1.
Now,
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Satara, is it correct or not correct?
Yeah, there is no error. So it is correct.
So while when you will be using while, you will have to initialize first, Satara. So see, the initialization is here, and then only we write while followed by condition,
Okay.
and then your loop will start. And within loop, you will write your statement followed by increment decrement of it. Increment decrement, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Okay. So your initialization is this: I equal to 1. While 1 is less than equal to 10, print 1. Value of I is incremented by 1. Again, it will come here. 2 is less than equal to 10, condition is 2. Then 2 will be printed. Likewise, it will continue. When the value of I will become 11, 11 is less than equal to 10, condition is false. Then it will immediately come out of the loop. Making sense? So I can print like this. Now the big problem with while loop is this: if you forget to increment this, then what will happen, Satara? If I forget to increment this,
It will only print one.
how many times?
One time, no?
One time. Yeah? Why? How one time?
Because we have initialized I is equal to 1 at row number line number 12. In 13 it is less than equal to 1 10,
Correct.
and then it will print, and
Okay,
then it will
then
end.
why it will end? It will not go and check condition again.
It will be infinite time.
So okay, then again it will check 1 is less than equal to 10, and then it will print. Okay.
It will happen infinite
Okay.
times.
So
Since
what
there is no
happens?
break, it will continue,
There
right?
is there is no break. Even though there is no break, there is no increment and decrement, and this condition will be satisfied always. 1 is less than
Okay.
equal to 10, it will be always true. And then this loop will become infinite loop. So that's the major problem with the while loop. If you by any chance forget to write this, then this loop will become infinite loop. So if I write this, then see, continuously 1 is getting printed. You are understanding, right, Satara?
Yes. I am.
Yeah. So you will have to do a little bit practice on this. Then only the syntax will be clear to you, and then only you will be more familiar. Okay.
Yep.
The same example what I use for loop. If I don't want 4 here, then what changes I will have to do here?
Okay. So, can we use if again in this as well?
Obviously, we can use.
Okay.
Where I have to write it.
I is less than equal to 1 print.
So the main drawback of while loop is if you forget to write this line of code, then this will become infinite loop. So what was my question? I don't want 4 here. How I will do that, Sitara? You were talking about some if condition I can put or not. So yes, you can put that. Where should I do that? Sitara, I can't hear you if you're speaking.
Oh, sorry, I was talking on mute. So it will be on line number 14.
Line number 14, what?
If bracket I is not equal to 4.
I is not equal to 4. Okay. Then?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all?
that would be enough. Yes.
That will be enough.
Because yes, I think so.
Let's try. Yeah, that's correct. Because after if we have only one line, right? And then I plus plus will be out of if loop. Okay, so with this while loop is also done. Next one is do while loop.
Just one question.
Yeah,
okay?
Disha,
If we write that as in while, if I write I less than equal to 10 and I not equal to 4, is that fine?
I not equal
Not
to.
equal to 4.
So what will happen? You tell me. What? This is correct actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will also print 1 to 10
It
except
will
4.
also 1 to 10 except 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just thinking if it is.
No, it will not print.
Why it is happening? Because it is ending when it comes to 4. Why so?
See, both the condition is true, then only it will come inside the loop. If at first 1 is less than 10, condition is true. 1 is not equal to 4, condition is true. Correct? It will print 1 and then 2. 2 is less than 4, condition is true. 2 is not equal to 4, condition is true. It will print 2. 3, again it will check for 3. 3 is not equal to 4, condition is true. It will increment by 1. 4 is not equal to 10 and 4 is less than or equal to 4. Condition is false, right? 4 is equal to 4. Then it will not print, it will come out of the while now. It will not increment. That's why it is not printing.
Got your point.
Yeah. That's why it is not printing.
Okay, that's what I wanted to check.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay. So do while is quite similar to while, but it will execute at least once. In while, what happens? If the condition is true, then only it will execute. But in do while, the loop will execute at least once. So syntax is quite similar. Syntax for do while is we will have initialization first. Then we will have do followed by just a statement. So it will execute at least once. Then closing braces, then while condition is true or not. And before that, what we will do, we will just increment decrement also. Making sense? So we'll just have a look at that using Eclipse.
Just one question
Yeah,
before we move on. When do we use like while? Even for loop also works, right? For the like print 1 to 10, even for loop works. So why do we need while loop?
So I mean it is basically the another type of loop they have provided in Java that is completely based on your choice, Sitara. Right? If a program demands that you need to use while only, then also you can use. Or if uh, uh, you are quite comfortable with for loop, you can use that. So there are multiple choices available with you. Whichever is easy to use or whichever is simplest, you can use that.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of the people are quite comfortable with while, so they will use while. Some of the people are quite comfortable with do while, they will use do while. So there are multiple choices available with us. There is no hard and fast rule that I should use while only or I should use for loop only. There is nothing like that. Okay, so using do while. Now what I'll do, I'll print from 10 to 1 here using do while. They will explicitly write, while asking for the program, they will explicitly write use do while loop here, use while loop here. So they wanted to know your knowledge. They wanted to check your knowledge, whether you are aware of all the loops or not, or you are just aware of only one loop. So do while is like initialization will happen from, let's say, from 10, and then your loop will execute at least once. So your loop will start from do, followed by sys out, then value of I, then I minus minus, then while I is greater than equal to 0. So it should be 1. Is it making sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So initially the value of I is 10. I'll come inside the loop. There is no condition right now, so it will be executed, right? So 10 will be executed. Value of I will become 9 here, and then 9 is greater than 1. Condition is true. Again, it will come on do loop, do here, then 9 will be printed. 8, 8 greater than equal to 1, 7, 7 greater than equal to 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 is greater than equal to 1, print 1, and then value of I will become 0. 0 is greater than equal to 1, condition false, then it will come out of the while. Okay, so what is the compilation error here? Okay. One curly braces was extra. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If I need to print value from 1 to 10, what changes I will have to make here, Sitara?
Initialization number would be 1.
Okay.
And instead of decrement, it would be increment.
Okay.
And while would be greater than equal to 10, less than equal to 10.
Less than equal to. Perfect. All right. So 1 to 10. Okay. Good. Yeah. So the difference between while and do while is that while will be executed only if the condition is true. Do while will be executed at least once, and then it will check for the condition. Okay. Now next is enhanced for loop, that is for each loop. So syntax is a bit different, guys. Enhanced for loop. So it is mostly used for arrays, but I'll explain it here. So it is mostly used for arrays. So I'll just give you the example here, and then when we will be discussing about arrays and string in detail, then I will be explaining it more to you. So syntax of this is like array declaration followed by for declaration followed by array or expression. Then we have statements. And close. Okay. So let me take the example and then you will understand. Let's say I have one string array. wherein some values are stored. Let's say Java, Python, Perl, Ruby, C sharp. Okay, so this is a string array, right? So yeah, so string array as in this array is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values, right? It's clear, right? This string array is clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to use enhanced for loop to iterate this array. So what I will have to do, I will just declare another variable called length, and that I will iterate for string array. And then what I will do, I'll just sys out using length. So it will print all values all together. So let's run this. So it is printing Java, Python, Perl, Ruby, C sharp. I can do this using normal for loop also. So what I will have to do, print I equal to 1, I less than equal to str dot length, I plus plus. This out, then str I.
I equals to 1 we need to put there.
Okay, sorry. So if I write like this, this out, so out, why Java is not printed? Okay, I will have to start from
0, 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the output of both are same. Okay, so I can use this loop also. I can use enhanced for loop also. So the syntax for enhanced for loop is quite simple, right? So I am just declaring a string type of variable here, which is iterating the string array from value 1, value this Java value. So first what will happen, language will start from Java, and then it will come inside this, and then it will put language. Then next value of this will become Python. Language is Python, then Python will print. One second, guys, just give me a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. So this is how the enhanced for loop is used. We'll see this in more detail when we will be talking about array and string. For now, if you are having difficulty in understanding this, you can use your traditional for loop only. Yeah.
And this enhanced for loop we use in case of just arrays, right?
Yeah, I mean, we should use, I mean, we can use the for
In
normal
conditional.
programming also we can use, right? So that is your basically on your comfortness, in which loop you are comfortable, you can use that. Okay, so if you want to use this normal for loop, enhanced for loop for normal operation, then what I will have to write, and
Suppose printing number
yeah,
one
yeah.
to 10.
So, and
I guess we need to initialize something first before for, right?
no, basically what happens, it is traversing from the value given.
Right.
If
So that
I
value
don't,
will given should be there some that should be there in some variable, right?
yeah, that should be in some variable, but how you will declare that? That's what I'm thinking. Because here we have array, right?
Correct,
And,
correct.
and
Yeah.
we are traversing here. But if I need to use this for, let me check on this, Disha.
Yeah, sure.
Even I am not sure on this. Let me check.
Yeah, okay, okay.
So, enhanced for loop for normal operations. Okay, so another example. Let's park this aside for now. Enhanced for loop. So with this, I think our for loop is done. And the next one for pending for today is branching statement. Java branching statements. Now, what do you mean by branching statement? So basically, branching statements are used to transfer.
Break, continue, and everything, right?
Yeah. Right. Branching statements are used to transfer control from one point to another point. Code. So basically, branching statements are defined by 3 keywords in Java. Three keywords in Java, namely break, second is continue, and the third one is return. All right. So what's the use of break? Break statement is used to stop the execution. And comes out of loop. Mostly break statements are used in switch and loops. So whenever we want to terminate the loop, we can use break statement. So as in switch, we have seen already, right? In loops, if I want to use break statement, how will I use that? So let's say I have for int I equal to 1. I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. Now what I want this out I, but I don't want this code to be executed until 10. I want, like, if I equal to 4, then it should break. So this code will execute only up to 4, even not for 4, right? So because we have kept this out here, if I put this out here, then it will execute up to 4. Making sense?
Yes.
And next one is continuous statement. So continue is also same as break. The only difference is when break statement executes, it comes out of loop. While continue statement execute, it comes out of loop temporarily. We'll see is an example. So where is the clips? So instead of this, if I write here, if I modulus 2 equal to 0, then continue. This out. And type. What this program will do?
If it is the modulus is 0, then it will continue and print.
But it says it will come out of the loop temporarily. So when will it actually stop?
See what will happen. Initially the value of I is 1, right? I modulus 2 condition is not true, right? 1 modulus 2 remainder will be 1, right?
Yeah.
So this is not true, then this will not execute. Value of 1 I will be printed. Then first value will be I. Second, the condition will be true. It will continue. It will come here. It will continue and it will print 2 here. Okay, it will come out of the loop. Next, the value of I will be 3. 3 is, then this will print 3. Let's run this. It should print 1 to 10. 1 3 5 7 9. Oh, okay, like this. Yeah, got it. So if the value of this is true, then it will continue. It will come out of the loop as in here, but it will not print this.
Okay, so the condition, if the condition is met, then it will continue. It won't display, but it will still continue.
Yeah, it will continue with the loop. It won't execute the remaining statement. So instead of this, I should explain you like this. So first, the value of I equal to 1. this condition is not true, right? And then value of I will be printed. 1 is printed here. Value of I will become 2. This condition is true, right? It will say continue. So continue as in it will come out of the this statement, and then it will increase the value of I by 1. And then this condition will be checked. So if you are not getting, let me write like this. So first value of I equal to 1. Then condition is false. So I printed. Now value of I becomes true. I equal to 2. Condition satisfied. And then continue. Continue as in comes out of loop, and then increment by 1. Value of I is incremented by 1, and it becomes 3. Is it making sense now?
Yes.
Yeah. So if this condition is true, then continue as in it won't print anything below this. Immediately it will check here. If and then check as in it will be incremented by 1, and then further conditions will be continued. Instead of this, if I write break here, what will happen? After 1 it won't print anything, right?
Yeah.
Making sense or not? So this is the difference between break and continue.
In break, it immediately comes out of the loop and doesn't execute.
Doesn't
further.
execute next time, but in continue it will come temporarily out of loop, and then
It will check for the next condition.
next condition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next one is return statement. So return statements are used in user-defined methods that we have seen, right? Whenever we are writing, preparing the user-defined method, at that time we use void, or we are using the return statement. In user-defined methods. Method which will return a value. And return statements must always be the last statement. Okay. So as an example, if I take the example of return statement, let's say I am having one function here, public void add, which is taking input of 2 integer value, and result equal to a plus b. Return result. Instead of void, I will have to write here what? I will have to write here int. Now what I am doing, I am just public stat. Let me make this static so that I can directly call with the class name. Demo dot add. Let's say I'm passing 2030 here, and this out, and then I am just This, the result of this is integer. I'll just store in rest. I'm printing here rest. So if I execute this, I'm getting 50. So basically, this is a return statement, which is returning the integer type of result, right? If I write here void, instead of int, if I write here void, it will give you error. See, you cannot write, you cannot return a value here because void is mentioned here. Or if I write like int here, and if I does not return any value, then again also it will give error that the method should return a value. Fine. So this is the use of return state. So Tara, any confusion here?
No.
You're fine with that, right?
Yes.
Disa?
No, no confusion.
Okay. All right. So I think with that we are pretty done for today. So we covered if else today. Then we covered switch. Then we covered for, while, do while, enhanced for, and then branching statement. And with this, our basic Java is done. Now from next session, we will be starting with arrays and strings. So those comes under advanced Java. And once you start with that, since those are kind of advanced topics, so your basic Java concept should be quite clear, because we will be using those concepts quite frequently here. Yeah, so you have time. Even this weekend is free. I mean, I'm not sure if you are free or not, but please keep practicing. Just revise your notes and just watch the videos. And if any doubt is there, just ping on WhatsApp. Like if I can clarify those doubts on WhatsApp. So that is one thing. Now this meeting is going to end in 2 minutes. Then we will just start with the assignments. Okay, right, guys?
Yeah. Can we rejoin right now itself?
No, just wait for 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Let it finish. So this is the Java plan. Now we are pretty done for this. Next session we will cover string and arrays, then Java input output exception handling, Java methods. So these are all kind of advanced topics. I'm not sure if I'll be able to cover everything in one class, whatever I have planned. So let's see how it goes. What is your leave absence plan, guys, going forward in this month? Any other plan you have?
Not this month.
Not this month, right? Next month you will have.
Yes.
And Sitara, yours? Any leave plan or absence plan for this month?
May 1st.
May 1st is your next absent plan, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
fine. Until 1st May, we can continue with the classes, right? So until 1st May, how many sessions? Only 3 sessions we can take. So in next 3 sessions, I'll try to start with the oops. Okay, let's see how it goes. So,
Sure.
yeah. So meeting is going to finish, guys. Just